Well, this seems like a very accessible practice and regimen and nutritional choice and option for us to be able to adapt to. I think the question that I have is why do you think it is that when you go to your physicians or you go to people in the healthcare profession that they don't really take the liberty to extend this type of nutritional option to you? I mean, I would think that, as them being physicians, doctors, nurses, and nutritionists. I mean, you go to the doctors and there's a segment, there's specialists that are nutritionists. And, when I've gone to the nutritionist, what they've suggested is a bunch of vitamins, a bunch of supplements. I know personally, I have a lot of low tolerance for a lot of different types of supplements. They could be very good in terms of what the overall results are supposed to be or what they're supposed to do after you ingest them into your body. But myself personally, I can't absorb a lot of those different types of pills. And, it's basically the same thing to me as if I were on, strict medication or whatever for my conditions. So I think that is just an interesting point, that this seems like this is such a simple solution to being able to allow people to get on the road to healthier living and definitely being able to at least have a shot at combating various different diseases. So in all honesty and fairness, what is it that we really, really think is the reason and the rationale for that just not being put out there and being readily accessible to the public for all of us to be able to know about?
I can't believe it. Did y'all talk about this before I got here? We talked about this in the car. But just to go back a couple of points, when I was listening to him saying what he was saying, this is amazing because people at home, they say, oh yeah, right, he got happy with eating this food and juice and da 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 da. And I was sitting here saying, yeah, I was that type of person too. But as he's saying what he's saying, because I've been doing this, I can tell you that he was right. The first time you juice, you're gonna feel different. The first time you juice, the first time you decide to do a day of juicing, your body's gonna say, what did you do? I got a break?
That's right.
But to answer this question, doctors, they don't study this. They don't study food.
No.
They study medicine. They study drugs. How long does it take to be a doctor? What is it?
Quite a few
6,
years.
8,
12
10
years.
10 years.
About-
All that money, that student loan, they gotta pay that thing off. You come in the office, you gotta some money. You gotta pay. I'm so fortunate in the fact that my teacher has a PhD in food science. Big difference.
Big difference.
Food, medicine.
Okay.
Let your food be your medicine. Let your medicine be your food. It's quite simple. When we put in foods that nourish the body is going to react. You can't go to the doctor and say, listen, doctor, I got this diabetes. How did I get this diabetes? Well, it could have been a number of things. Diabetes ain't nothing but cooked starch. We are so used to taking in all these cakes and breads and pastas, ain't nothing but starch. Can you imagine starch being distributed through your body every day, closing off the arteries and the veins, and nothing being able to break this down but raw foods and vegetables, because they have enzymes to break this stuff down. Most sicknesses are caused by the cooked food diet that we have before us. That the United States, the FDA, everybody endorses. It's 3 meals a day, and the combinations are atrocious. We don't know anything about combining our foods. We're in trouble. But you can't find this out from a doctor. Basically, we have to look after ourselves. We have to find out what it is that ails us, why we're ailed, and we have to go. It's basically going back to God. You go back to God's food.
Absolutely.
He's gonna heal you. He's not, he's not a doctor. He's not going to put you on a table and, no, he puts you on his table. And through his foods, you will eventually heal in God's time. God said, you can't rush me now. You don't think you're in the doctor's office. You lay down on the table, let me fix you. That's what a coma is about. When you go through a coma, that's God's way of saying, you know what, man, you've been trying to fight this thing. Let me knock you out for a minute and heal your body from the inside. And you wake up and you feel so much better from a coma. All those people that wake up from a coma, they say, what you crying for? I was healing.
That's right.
So, I mean, we can't look to the doctor to answer all our questions, because God says you're a doctor. Be your own doctor. Look after your body. But if you don't listen to your body, if you don't look out for your body, if you depend for a doctor and his drugs to heal your body, and that's what we're made to do. That's what we're made. We're made to get sick and go to the hospital. That's the way they got it set up. How about changing it? Just try a couple of juices for a day and notice the difference. Do a juice thing for a week. I mean, I got a funny story about the detox. In my class. Now I was going along well, man. I'm losing all this weight, feeling good every day. But I had a recipe, it was called blueberry lemonade. He said, every day, glass of water, 4 blueberries, and some lemon. And you add 1 blueberry every day. Well, I was going to Chicago, and I saw these blueberries in my refrigerator. I said, oh man, I don't want these things to go bad. So I put half the thing of blueberries in the thing, loads of blueberries. And I made my lemonade. And within hours, man, I felt like I never had this feeling before, but I was detoxing. So you got to follow the rules. You got to follow the rules. Because when I got to Chicago, all I could do was sit down and watch my luggage go around the belt. The guy kept saying, "Man, you all right?" I said, "Man, I can't get up." They got me in the cab, got me back to the hotel. But that's detoxification. I took too many blueberries at a time that I was healing. You can't. You gotta follow the rules.
Yeah.
He gave me the rules. I got a good little greedy. Yeah, you're gonna have detoxification. That's part of healing, because you're trying to get the bad stuff out and the good stuff in.
Right.
Okay.
Once you start doing that, your body's gonna reward you.
Okay.
I like to add something to what Stanley was saying, and about the doctors. Doctors are supposed to. What doctors are supposed to do? They're supposed to teach us how to not even embrace disease, but they don't. They're more like physicians in the sense that doctors they have treatment centers, to deal with the aftermath, but not the before. From the time that we're born, and we're born with instincts, just like the other animals in the that God created, but we're taught through culture, this word culture, to disregard our instincts, and now we're all culturized and science, and it's like saying to God, well, God, we know that you put a real cool system here, but we just feel we need to tweak it. We need to do some better things with it, and we don't trust our instincts. Animals are right in line with the program. They know what to eat, what not to eat, and they follow the rules. We have been cultivated to go against the rules. And that's why we're dealing with a lot of the diseases that we're dealing with, because we are not following the rules.
Can I add one thing to that?
Sure.
Disease. D-I-S-E-A-S-E. Disease is a dis of the ease of the body.
I like that.
Disease is a dis of the ease of the body.
All right.
So now you got to figure out what's causing the dis of the ease of the body.
Of the body.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much. This has been extremely informative, and I would say definitely food for thought for our audience today. And I hope that it prompts us to really take a good look at the actual nutritional practices that we currently have adapted. And like you said, if it comes down to an eat to live approach, that perhaps we can adapt this regimen or whatever else is a healthier approach and practice towards us being able to combat these diseases. Like you said, that just it seems to me that it's commonplace now. We accept it within our communities. We feel that it's something that is inevitable. But I'm a person who personally believes in looking for other solutions. So I thank you for coming on the program today and offering some viable and seemingly not difficult solutions. And I encourage everyone out there to at least try it. So I myself personally am going to try it today, and I'm going to ask these two gentlemen if they would be so kind as to give us a demonstration. And I'll see whether or not I get my shock, and I get my spark, and I get my exuberance from the whole process. All right, so I thank you again for coming on, and I say let's get to this demonstration. Let's make some juice.
Okay.